It has been, I don't know, maybe 3 years since David Graham was on the show, and I believe he was doing a show at the Foundry Art Center in St. Charles.
Yep.
And I'm really hoping, David, for your well-being, that you've had a gig since then. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, my wife sends me on errands. She doesn't pay me, but
I got one of those.
Yeah, she sends me on errands, and
I married her sister.
Oh, nice.
True story.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, I'm looking for a job, and if anybody, I'm good at taking trash out. I'm good at feeding a dog. I'm good at feeding myself. I'm trying to get paid for that, but, Sugar Fire won't return my calls. So.
Well, drop my name. That might help.
That'll work.
Clean Comedy Cavalcade, that's coming out in Florissant, Missouri.
That's right.
And that's tomorrow, right?
That's tomorrow night.
On the 11th.
That's right, 7:30. Be there.
So, because, I know you're a stand-up comic, but I also know you do a Lionel Richie tribute show. So will this be both? And
no, this will be only comedy.
Just
we're doing
with the jokes.
Yeah, we're doing the Lionel Richie Experience at the Blue Strawberry on May 3rd, and we're going to dedicate this show to the love of all mothers. So I'll be doing the ballads. I'll be doing Truly and 3 Times a Lady and Still, but we're going to do the fast stuff too. And if you're a Commodores fan, we're getting all that old Commodore stuff, that show me a river that's so deep, all of that good stuff before Lionel became Lionel. So we're going to lay the foundation with about 10 minutes of stand-up, and then we're going to do the whole Lionel Richie Experience. But tomorrow night, the Clean Comedy Cavalcade is coming to town. We're going to be at the Florissant Performing Arts Center at 7:30. Danny Browning is coming, fantastic comic out of Indiana. Also, Carolyn Agnew is going to host and MC the show. I'll headline the show, and we're going to knock this thing out of the park. We're going to give people clean comedy.
Why? What's wrong with dirty jokes?
There's nothing wrong with dirty jokes, but sometimes you have nightmares in the middle of the night of some of that stuff coming true. So you gotta, sometimes it does come true, and it's not even a dream. So I've patterned myself after my dad. My dad, I heard him say 3 curse words the whole time I knew him, and all 3 were directed at me.
Sure.
But, he was just a great guy, and he told me, he said, son, have integrity in life. I said, okay. But, it's not that anybody that does dirty comedy doesn't have integrity, but what I like to do is bring it to people where you can laugh at the same stuff your parents laugh at. You can sit in the same room and enjoy that stuff.
And not have to look at the ground
right.
or get uncomfortable.
Yeah, I want to bring it back to the days of Red Skelton, Flip Wilson, Jackie Gleason, all of those guys, man. So those are the guys I grew up loving growing up, and now I kind of pattern myself after that.
You talk about your dad. I was just looking at your book called The X-Files, EX-Files.
Yes.
How nothing worked till I trusted God. And this is your book that you've written.
That's my book, yes.
And it talks about glory, faith, pain, more faith, struggle, challenges, and hope.
Yeah.
Tell us about, it sounds like your dad was really a cool guy, and he really loved your mom.
My father was the greatest human being I ever met. He acted like, every day, he acted like he was going to die tomorrow, so he wanted to give my mother all the good stuff today. And I watched that growing up, and I said, I'm going to be just like that for somebody. So when I got a chance to, I grew up thinking that
That's
Mrs.
hard
Mrs.
to replicate that.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. But the hardest thing was my sister's job trying to find a guy like that.
Yeah, I
right?
get that.
So my thing was I wanted to mold myself after Dad. So around every corner, I thought I'd find Mr. Graham. Around every corner, right? So I was an All-American athlete in college, played basketball, and I said, surely this is going to shine enough light on me to where somebody's going to approach me or I'm going to meet somebody, right? I got to college, and oh boy, I met Vanessa. Ooh, man, Vanessa was the most beautiful thing you ever see. But Vanessa had that one thing that I never really wanted in a woman.
Mace?
A husband.
Oh.
So it was
That's not
that was
good.
not about to work
No.
out. It wasn't about to work out. But I kept my faith, and I just knew it was going to happen. And then one time I just fell on my face. It was my birthday in 1998, and it was also Thanksgiving. And I just fell on my face. I said, God, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? And 7 months later, I met Joyce. Joyce and I dated
Single? She was single?
She was single.
Okay.
Yeah, and she didn't know Vanessa either.
Yeah.
So met Joyce. We fell in love. We dated for 111 days. We've been married for 25 and a half years
Yeah.
now.
Good for
Yeah. So I'm happy as Ray Charles at night school.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
really
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Do you guys have kids?
Yeah. We have a Pomeranian together, but
Got
our
it.
children.
I understand.
Yeah, it looks like
That's
me.
fine, yeah.
But no, her sons were 22 and 20 when we met. And our first Father's Day as a married couple, these two young men of hers came down from New York and from Iowa, respectively, to spend Father's Day with me.
Aww.
And they hadn't even known me a year yet. Right? So it's been good ever since. It's been really good.
You have to behave then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're big, too. We're all big. I'm David. There's Dane, and there's Derek, right?
Oh, cute.
So when we get together, we call ourselves 3D.
3D.
We have a
David
good
Graham
time.
with us tomorrow, by the way, in Florissant.
Come out.
It is the Clean Comedy Cavalcade, and then on May 3rd at Blue Strawberry, it is the Lionel Richie Experience. And doing both as well as you do, do your worlds ever collide? I know you mentioned that the Lionel Richie thing, you'll open up for yourself, do a few jokes, and then start the thing. But like with the thing that we're going to see tomorrow in Florissant, are there Lionel Richie jokes in your stand-up?
I've got about 3 hours of material. We're going to do about 50 minutes tomorrow night, 50 minutes. We're going to have the MC will do 15, Danny Browning will do 30. I'll do 50 minutes or so, maybe an hour. It's going to be a little over an hour and a half show. Tomorrow, it's going to be stuff that just happens with families. It's if you've ever been disciplined in your life, you're going to get my stuff. If you've ever been to the grocery store, you're going to get my stuff. If you're a sports fan, you're going to get my stuff.
Grocery store is where we get our food, Julie. Bring it home.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be one of those things, and it's interactive.
What does that mean? You want heckling?
I want John. You can't come. You can't come to the show. You guys keep John here. Tie him down to the table.
I think they took his key to the city of Florissant away.
One time I heckled a comic, and it wasn't my fault. It was the vodka.
Yeah.
It was Dave Chappelle. Another story for another time.
No, what I mean by interactive, I've got like a Tom Jones moment in my show. When I will do some singing. I do the Temptations. I do all 4 parts of the Temptations harmony a cappella by myself. I do all Eddie Kendricks, Dennis Edwards. I do all voices just by myself. And then I'll do a little bit of romance. And it's all a part of the comedy. And I'll walk out into the crowd, and we'll have some fun like that. It's kind of cool.
Now, were you in a garage band in college? Did you sing and perform?
I sang in high school. Met Lionel Richie actually in high school when he was with the Commodores. But I sang in high school. When I was a child, I used to sing the Jackson 5. And I won, I think it was like $900 in 1972.
Wow.
Imagine what that would be today.
Did you see MJ the Musical? The kids that are in that show are unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, singing all the Jackson 5 stuff. It's terrific.
No, I haven't seen it.
You should see it.
I do a Michael Jackson bit where I can do some crazy stuff with my voice. I do Michael's voice as a grown man, and with my voice, I make him younger and younger and younger, and I take it back all the way to I Want You Back, and I hit that same octave that he hit as a 10-year-old. And it's mine is falsetto, of course, but it's a lot of fun, and it's
You're not going to do it, are you? You're just going to say, trust me.
You're not paying me to be here, John.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a job. Remember, I'm unemployed.
Do you like
until
the
my
Remember
water?
the Sugar Fire thing you were talking about?
Yeah,
earlier?
give me some Sugar Fire, man.
Yeah.
Do something. Yeah.
Who's the hardest to emulate musically?
I can do, believe it or not, I can do Prince. I can do Whitney Houston. I can sing Whitney Houston.
Okay, now wait a minute.
Come
Yes,
Wait
I
a
can.
minute.
Yeah, I can, man.
Whitney Houston.
I can sing Whitney Houston.
Okay. And I guess I'm not going to get into that. I just have to trust you on all this.
You're going to have to come to the show, and you, John, being who you are, you're going to have to buy a ticket, man.
To the least. It probably won't even be a good seat. They'll put me in the back.
I'll put you on stage with me.
But who is the hardest? I mean, who's the hardest? Like, boy, that's a tough voice to get down.
I would say the hardest singing is not that tough for me to try to emulate somebody. Talking is tougher for me.
Really?
Because sometimes I'll do, for example, my mother's name was Von Sell. Graham.
Now I get into your bank account.
But her maiden name was Washington. So whenever I would do something bad or I wouldn't clean my room, I had Vonzell Washington coming up into my bedroom, throwing out violence and all stuff. So I would go into a Denzel Washington impression.
Right.
I can do the mannerisms, but I can't nail the voice. Right? Now, I can do Bernie Mac, you know what I'm saying? I can do all that, yeah, but I can't get Denzel. I can't do it, right? But I can do the mannerisms. You think I'm going to do Denzel? You think the Denzel voice is coming out? All of a sudden, it's Bernie Mac or it's Reverend Jim from Taxi. Honky dog. You know, something stupid like that. But singing impressions come easy to me, pretty much.
People I know who do voices, a lot of them have a headset where one ear will be playing the voice they're trying to impersonate, and the other one will be picking up the sound of their own voice in the mic, and they will say it over and over until the two in their own mind matches. How do you learn how do you learn an impression?
I just listen, and musically, I've just had this musical thing since I was probably 3-4 years old. And my parents would have like a big New Year's Eve party or something. It'd be like 20 guests over. My mother would knock on my door. Get out here and sing the Jackson 5. Okay, right? So I'm like 8.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm out there and I'm doing this stuff, and I'm doing it a cappella. I'm doing it with no music sometimes. But when you really try to match a voice, if for some reason that I can't really explain,
I think you have the ear for that, or you don't.
Yeah, I have an ear for it, and I can. When Whitney Houston died, the 2 days later, I did a show in Columbus, Georgia, and at the end of my show, and I said, right now, I want everybody to just sit, be quiet. Please kill all the lights. I don't want a sound to be heard. I want you to take your mind somewhere. And I went, and I will always love you. And by the time I finished the second phrase, I was off stage, and I said, good night. And lights came back on, and I was gone off stage. It was really a cool moment.
Oh,
really cool
that's
moment.
really neat.
Yeah.
You know, there's a dog outside the window that wants to mate with you.
And her name is Jennifer. I met her earlier. It was
So much for the clean comedy.
Yeah.
David Graham's.
You started it.
You started it,
You
Carney.
started it.
What
You
is this, a
started it.
Smothers Brothers act? David Graham's Clean Comedy Cavalcade coming to Florissant. And I don't
That's
think we said
right.
where in Florissant.
It's going to be at the Florissant Performing Arts Center. Formerly, it's the James Eakin Center or
Oh,
the
yeah, we
Florissant
know that.
Community
We're there
Center.
every year.
And here's the thing, guys. We're doing 3 shows this year. I'm headlining all 3 because I've got enough material to do 3 full hours.
Right.
So we're doing it now. We're doing it also September 19th and October 24th. It's only going to be 2 comedians. It's going to be me and Jimmy J.J. Walker.
All in Florissant?
All at the same place, the Florissant Performing Arts Center.
Wait, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy
Dynamite?
J.J. Walker. Dynamite.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you kidding?
Jimmy's a good buddy of mine. Yeah.
He's 192.
I
He
know,
is
but
not. He's 191.
The knit cap has got so many moth holes in it.
oh my gosh, I loved that show growing up.
Jimmy's still funny, though. Jimmy's still funny.
Is he?
Yeah. He writes a new hour every year.
Oh my gosh.
He writes a new hour.
Really,
of
how
comedy
old
every
do you
year.
think he is? 80-something?
He'd kill me if I told you guys.
Oh, okay. Well,
He's close to
I can
80.
Google it. I mean,
We got the old
Yeah,
Googler.
Yeah.
he's probably not listening. I think
Yeah,
we're safe.
I think Jimmy's 74.
Oh, okay.
Also-
Listen, I would have guessed older.
Also, May 3rd, Blue Strawberry. I wanted to get that into that. The Lionel Richie Experience. Great. Bring mom. Come by yourself.
I have your
Whatever you want to do.
for always. I'm singing to you, John. And you want me.
Do you
Go ahead.
have to do it on my lap, though? This is weird. This is
You
just
should see how
weird.
John is looking at me right now,
Oh, my
guys.
gosh.
You should see how John is looking at me.
Lovingly.
That's
David
right.
Graham with us. You got a place online where people can keep up with what you're doing? And
Actually, go
pick
to
up your book and
Yes,
stuff?
yes. My book is The X-Files. It's my humorous journey on finding the one. 4.9 out of 5 stars on Amazon. Also, if you go to Comfort Comedy, people talk about comfort food, all this stuff. Since my comedy is clean, I don't curse on stage at all. I save that for home. So if anybody wants to go and find out more about this man and what I do, go to comfortcomedy.com. Also, there's a thing on there with me doing a commercial with the Cardinals. You guys remember the 6 is a serious number commercial with the Cardinals?
6 is a serious number.
I'm the guy in that commercial. Here we go now, 6.
Oh,
It's a serious number.
That's the guy.
Here's 25 cents, a tiny coin to be spent for some wonder. Yeah,
It warms my heart to see you, pal.
Good to see you
my
again.
kids would sing that. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
on repeat for
You gotta
years,
have it.
and we'd go to On the Run and get the.
Yes,
They're gonna freak out when I tell them this. This is so
Tell
great.
them 25 cents. Yeah. What's
Okay,
up?
okay, yeah, I will.
Clean
Oh,
Comedy Cavalcade, everybody. Come on out to the show. Tickets are only $12.
Wow.
$12 to see some good, clean, fun, clean comedy. $3 extra if you want to put the $3 toward the St. Louis Area Food Bank.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So $15, come on and bless some people and have a good time.
Good to see you as always.
Great to see you again.
Thanks for
having
coming
me.
on.